Hello, beautiful, beautiful divine souls. Welcome to another day of preparation for our beautiful Bridget Summer Solstice Retreat in Ireland, which is going to be a level 1 priestess training. And again, the closer I get to going home, the more excited I am because it's the first time I am doing such spiritual work on my home soil. So yes, I'm going to begin in prayer. I'm going to pull us a beautiful soul food Rumi card for the day, and see what God would like to bless us with today. I hope you are enjoying this energetic shift. I am feeling so blissed out. My heart is like wide open. I am blissful. I am happy. I am blessed. And this is what alignment feels like when you are in alignment with your divine mission and your heart is in the right place and you are functioning from a correct heart space. Everything just flows to you. It is that simple. And right now I am definitely in divine flow and enjoying every single second of it. So I have my Sacred Heart prayer box on top of the Rumi cards today, and I was told to place it there. I probably might need to buy a new one because it looks like it's been put through the fires, actually. It travels the world with me, and I'm not really... I think it might have gotten wet, maybe in a beach in Tulum or somewhere like that. So I was going to buy a new one, and then they told me no, I needed to restore it. And that in and of itself is quite the powerful message for me, because inside here there is a photograph of the person that is closest to my heart, and it's where I write my prayers down for people. I write their names down and I put them in this prayer box, and it is with me in every sacred ceremony. It is with me wherever I go in the world. It's under my pillow when I sleep. I keep the Sacred Heart because this is the Sacred Heart of God. So every intention that I put into this prayer box, I then give to my Father, Yeshua. So every name and every intention, every person that I place into this prayer box, my intention is that they are held within the love of God, that they are surrounded by the healing of Christ, by the love of Christ, that they become one with that beautiful energy and no darkness can touch them, and that wherever they wander, wherever they are in the world, that they will always be protected and they will always know how loved they are through heaven. So that is my intention. So beautiful sisters, if you do not have what is called a God box, that is your little bit of homework for today. I encourage you to go and get yourself a box. It can be... well, this one kind of has a hole in the top, but I have this box that I have some of my reading gift cards in. It can be a simple box like this. It can be a trinket box. It can be absolutely anything. And what I would like you to do is take small pieces of paper, and I would like you to write down your intention and your prayers for yourself, for other people. I have quite the powerful transformation in my life with my God box. Someone that my eldest son's girlfriend one year for Christmas made me a God box, and it was a really beautiful gesture, and I start using it immediately, and I laughed when I came back to the things that I wrote down on the first pieces of paper for myself, which was ridiculous. Most of the pieces of paper I had put into this box were prayers for other people, like a family member really needs a good job. It went down on a piece of paper. So-and-so is struggling with their health at the moment. So-and-so is having issues with relationships. I want a miracle in this person's life. I wrote down all my different prayers and my intentions, and one by one the messages came in. Oh my God, I got a great job. Out came the piece of paper. So-and-so's had the all clear for cancer. Out came the piece of paper. Eventually, I would replace them with different people's requests, but I kind of opened some of the ones that had been in there for quite some time. And one of them was ridiculous, like I wanted a beach body again. And it was like, put a bikini on, go to the beach, put a swimsuit on and go to the beach and just accept yourself as you are. You're never going to be the 21-year-old model with the 24-inch waist again. That era has been and gone. And I'm laughing because I have a much more healthy relationship with myself now and far more realistic expectations of what my 51-year-old body can look like. But jokes aside, one day I decided to remove every single request from the God box that was for me. And I decided to put blank pieces of paper into my God box. And my only request was, God, you decide what is for me. That was me surrendering to the deepest level of trust in the divine that I have ever gone to. And I think it was because I had gone after things that I thought were for me, and I was profoundly wounded by some experiences, and I thought this isn't bringing me peace, this isn't bringing me happiness, and I thought I am completely relinquishing control. I know that I am loved by God, I know I am protected by God. So I decided that I was going to let go of all of my human wants, needs, emotions, absolutely anything that I thought that I wanted in my life. And I was going to just give God a blank page to rewrite my story and to bring to me really what was heaven sent. Because I do believe that sometimes people can get in the way of a destined relationship or a destined path or a destined career. You can have blockages, but if something is really for you from God, eventually it will come back to you. What is yours never passes you by. And I believe that hand on heart. So in this moment, instead of me trying to control the outcome of my relationship and my life, I chose to completely surrender to the divine and I let go. And in that letting go, my life radically changed. I can remember for those of you that don't know me very well, I'm Karen, welcome to the channel. I didn't ever know who my father was. So my mum was pregnant in Catholic Ireland, and instead of having me aborted, which was her plan to run away to the UK and get rid of what was unwanted, her parents decided to adopt me. So I was raised by my grandparents from 4 days old, and I was raised as my maternal mother's little sister. So that was the dynamic of my family, which meant there actually was no room for a father in the narrative, in this lie that they fabricated. So I had always had this longing to know where I came from. Do I look like him? What's his name? Where do I come from? It was this longing. When I was in my early 30s, about 31, 32, it was like this light switch switched on within me, and the distant longing became quite obsessive, as in, I need to know. I eventually was given a name when I reached out to, a sister, and I said, does anyone know? And she said, well, actually, I know the name. And the name was given to me, and I started researching, and every now and then I would trawl through the internet and, do research like I was working for the FBI. And I would trawl through time and space, and everything came up with a blank. This particular night, after I had surrendered everything in the God box, I took out one of my Kyle Gray decks, and I was shuffling the cards, and the Yeshua card came out, and it said, Father, healing is possible. And in that moment, I thought, wow, is Father healing really possible? And I went to pick up my laptop to again start searching through Instagram and Facebook and searching the names throughout the internet. And I corrected myself and I said, don't be so silly. Do not do this to yourself again. You've wasted 10 years finding him. You've contacted adoption agencies and this agency and that agency. You've come up with a dead end. It's never going to happen, Karen. Just let it go. And then I heard the voice of God say to me, go onto the Drimna Facebook group and write a message publicly saying, does anyone know what happened to the Cody family that grew up on such and such a street in Dublin? Within 10 minutes, I was talking to my aunt on the phone. Now, it turns out that my father was no longer alive, so I never got to meet him. He never knew that I existed. He emigrated shortly after. He impregnated my mum, so he didn't even know he had a daughter. I saw a photo of him, and I am my father's daughter, and that brought me so much peace, so much healing, so much self-acceptance of my own identity, of where I came from. It was like this big missing piece wasn't missing anymore. Now, I then heard my beautiful divine angels and the voice of the Holy Spirit say, you would have never thought to have written that request down on a piece of paper and put it in your God box. So because you surrendered to us, we gave to you what the most important thing was. And I can remember that in that moment, my mind was blown, and it was so true. I was writing requests for absolutely everybody. And the one thing that I wanted the most, I didn't write down on a piece of paper and ask for myself. Since then, I'm glad to say that I am very equal in the amount of love and care that I pour into myself, and healing and time and self-respect, and I honor myself as much as I care about other people. So your homework for today is to go off and get a God box, and you can choose to put blank pieces of paper in there, or you can choose to write prayer requests down there for you and for yourself. And I want you to take a note of what starts to happen in your life and in your reality. So story time is now over. We will begin. So, beloved Mother, Father, God, Christ, Sophia, Alpha, Omega, Holy Spirit, Shekinah, all glory and honor to the Most High God, peace, blessings, abundance, and above all love to fall upon your daughters on earth. I now lift my beautiful sisterhood upon the altar of the Most High, and I now ask, God, that you will search our hearts, that you will search our minds, that you will search every aspect of our being through time and through space, for all glory is yours. I now ask that you will see into us, and anything that is not a vibrational match to love, anything that does not further the kingdom of heaven, please remove it from us. Anything that is not of you, please strip it away. And as we allow all shadows, all wounds, any karma, any outdated soul contracts, negative cords of attachment to people, places and things, as they are cleared away with Michael's sword of truth, I now ignite the sacred fires to burn through anything that is unworthy. As we now connect to our higher holy I am presence, I now ask for the golden Christ light to be anchored down, and the more we expand our tube of light from heaven to earth, the more it is pushing out distortion, and the more room we are making within the heart's temple to anchor in the love of God. What I speak on earth is done in heaven, as above so below, as within so without. Please place a divine shield of protection around myself and my beautiful sisters that will be stepping into retreat with me. I now ask for you to give us a beautiful soul food gift today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oof. Okay. 16, clear as a whistle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, sacred soul sister. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. So we are card number 37, and that of course adds up to 11. I was doing some writing today, and I'm writing the chapter of the book that is to do with Mary Magdalene. And she described herself, as I was channeling, as the sacred sister of the soul, that has been passed through the rose lineage, which is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to say this is a continuation on from the work that I've been doing this morning. Okay, so drop into the heart, quiet down the mind. A beautiful soul once told me that the mind was hell and the heart was heaven, and it stayed with me always. And every time I feel like I am being pulled into a mind space or an overactive mind, or I start to maybe worry about something or get caught up in that mind space, I always hear that voice, and immediately it drops me back into my heart, into the vibration of love. And as soon as I allow myself to feel that, I just feel my shoulders drop and my heart just expands, and it is the most beautiful feeling. So I ask now that you quietly say a little prayer and ask your higher self to really take you deeply into your heart space, that you allow your heart to open and become a portal for God's love to move through. Okay, so number 37, Sacred Soul Sister, from the Rumi Oracle. When you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you are beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you are beyond consciousness, a winter cold feels like spring. All of your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. Rumi. I love you. I am your other self. I am with you always, your partner on the soul's journey. I am the you that you do not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition and instinct. I whisper and I sing, and I shout my crazy truth-telling to you, through your dreams, through your body. I am the wise, that truth that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than appearance. I am the you that knows how to be happy and free. There is a valid point of view that when we travel this path of our life's journey, our deepest descents into the psyche happen alone. We meet death alone, and we come into the world alone. And yet there is a vaster perspective that we are never alone, that it would be impossible to really be alone. We are connected to all of life, and there is no such thing as being alone in reality, only in the limited and temporary perception. As if such a community were not enough, there is a partner, an ally, who journeys with you from birth to death and beyond, again and again. You have a sacred sister, a sister of your soul. She weaves the stories of truth through dreams and insight that come upon you as if out of nowhere. Perhaps they drop into your mind or seem to erupt from within you, but that is her talking to you, demanding or reassuring, depending on what the occasion best calls for in the moment. Her truth may seem overly dramatic, so you may discount them as the workings of an overactive imagination, or perhaps her truth tales are so subtle you dismiss them as meaningless, fleeting fancy. The wise ones know, however, that the truths of the Sacred Soul Sister are powerful, relevant, and worthy of time and attention. They know her oftentimes strange and startling offerings holds the key to unlock entire worlds and to open up to new realities and to transform the nature of our existence from the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels to the most palpable, practical daily realities of our living bodies in the physical world. Your Sacred Soul Sister is your partner in consciousness. Make no mistake, she is you. She is just the part of you that is so great You cannot always see her from your conscious mind. It is sort of like the eye of the dog trying to see the whole self, which is a bit tricky, for as it moves to see the rear, so the rear is moved along too. So rather than through direct perception, the Sacred Soul Sister is meeting through reflection. So she can be received in those moments of rest where great ideas are born. She is a genius, you see, vastly creative and inspired. Her words are those that we access in sleep and meditation by absorbing engagement in activity, where the mind can relax and drop into the realities far more vast than those of daily life and be replenished. To tap into her wisdom, to distill a teaching from the fragmented memory of a dream or a subtle feeling experienced in meditation, requires that you walk with her gat and not the fast-paced, forward-moving canter of your consciousness and your intellectual mind. Her gat is meandering and apparently unstudied, yet she is in deep concentration to feel for the truth of movement, to allow for what is emerging to express itself through her, and she is listening rather than demanding to know, or to force, or to speak, or to direct. To receive her genius and her benefit most fully, it requires a willingness to surrender logic and open up to inspiration, to become empty, to let the mind soften and become receptive, open and permeable. She delivers questions that lead to answers, but not according to demands issued by an insecure or a fearful mind. She offers what is genuinely needed and answers the deepest questions of the heart. She is trustworthy, this sister. She cannot betray truth. Therefore, she can be relied upon as a faithful way-shower of the heart. So to commune with her, wise as that impulse is, requires that you learn the ways of her world and the strange symbolic language she speaks. She will never tell you what you already know. Why be so inefficient? No, she prefers to educate, to allude, to intrigue, to beguile. As you are drawn into far more beautiful, powerful, helpful truths. So in her world and in her language, you must suspend your need to know things immediately. Understand. Let yourself absorb the imagery and the feelings and the possibilities, to dwell, to ponder, to be permeated by the wisdom. The appearance of a horse may signify your own spiritual being, and the appearance of you may signify a false sense of identity, and not the real you at all. You may see desert landscapes and moonlit nights in your dreams. When so much inner growth is happening, you will soon bloom like the springtime. You may dream of charging up hills with great energy, when in your physical world you can barely muster enough strength to get out of bed in the morning. What does this all mean, this apparent country world upside down? Nothing is as it seems symbolism. The meaning is in the communication, and the communication is received in repose, in reflection, in quietness and in rest. And you must trust. Trust her, trust yourself. When something needs to be known, so it shall be. This is necessary, so much less than we can expect. Your lack of knowing is not ignorance. Your unknowingness is your bowing to life with trust. She has come to you through this oracle to remind you that everything is going to be okay and that she has your back, no matter what appearances may seem to be to your more limited dog's eyes consciousness in the light of day. She is guiding you with her wider knowledge through circumstances and situations that are ultimately going to free you into a greater love than you have ever known. No matter what you feel like, no matter whether you feel like a rat in a maze or a bewildered drunk, stumbling through a labyrinth of back alleyways, trying to find your way home again, no matter how out of control life may seem, she is letting you know all is proceeding just as it should, and that her will manifest. Her will is your wholeness, your completion. Her will must manifest and shall, because her will is nature, it is growth, it is God, she is God in you now. Remember that, and you realize, if you don't mind knowing the ending before the last chapter, that everything is going to be okay. The oracle comes with particular guidance also. You know something deep within your bones without knowing why or how, without particular reason, you just know. It doesn't make sense, but you know it. It may be that you know. It may be that you know to avoid a certain situation. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully, despite appearances to the contrary. At a particular moment, it may be that you are meant to take a certain path. You just know. The oracle comes to you as confirmation that your knowing, mysterious as it is your sacred soul's sister talking through you. Trust it and act or not accordingly. The sacred honoring ritual. Kneel or sit comfortably, preferably on the ground, or somewhere you feel grounded or anchored into the earth. It could be on the floor, if that is practical. Rest your hands on the ground or on your legs and say aloud, I call upon the sacred sister of my soul, the shadow priestess of wisdom in the temple of love. You guide me to love, and under the merciful grace and protection of Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, our relationship is one of respect, care, and divine guidance. May I be blessed with receptivity of your genius and capacity for the grace of growth. So it be. Wow, what a beautiful message. I love. I love this deck. Yeah, I mean, it's always, whenever I'm told to share anything personal, it always somehow correlates to the message. And that in and of itself is embodiment, right? It is not just myth and fantasy and I'm hoping on something. No, your prayer life is actively going to change the more you open up to the divine moving through you, to God guiding you, to the voice of the Holy Spirit being present within you. The more you develop that interpersonal relationship, the more miracles you are going to see in your daily life. On hand on heart, I know that to be true. And it is only when you live something through personal, direct revelation experience and it viscerally changes you as a person, that vibration is sewn into that story. And then when you tell it to another person, they will know it's not just fantasy. This is actually possible. If a miracle was possible for her, then a miracle is possible for me. So I encourage you to get that God box out and watch the miracles happen in your life. Okay. I am now going to close down the session. Whew. Holy Mother, Holy Father, O birther of the cosmos, all glory, all glory, all glory. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sebaot. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sebaot. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sebaot. And on that note, my little earth angel has just come home from school. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sending you all blessings. I'll speak to you soon. Much love. Bye.